Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Oberland Station and fixing up the Commonwealth. And as you can see, we've built a little bit of a foundation here. Going to continue on with our industrial section of, there's the warehouse we done last week, industrial section of the settlement, which is in here. I'm going to build a little workshop a la what you see at the start of the game, influenced sort of, kind of, that kind of workshop thingy bob. So let's get into the build menu and we can get cracking, guys. Very easy building to do. At the moment the foundations are about 2.5 roughly for this build. I may make it a little bit smaller than that, may not, I'm not sure at this point. And we're going to use a Snappy House Kits. Now, Snappy House Kits has just had a major overhaul and super organised. I added a whole lot of new stuff in there, so I need to go and explore that particular mod when I get a moment. Do be warned though that yeah, when the mod developer updated his mod, he shifted a lot of things around, and as a consequence of that, some of the buildings that you've done previously in Snappy House Kits would be kind of yeah, changed slightly. Modified is probably a better word, but essentially what's happened is he has, because he's reorganized the mod, where certain pieces used to be, they no longer are, and so it's just, if you've built with Snappy House Kits before and you've updated, you will know that everything now is just unusable. So just beware if you haven't updated yet and you don't want your existing buildings to become obsolete and kind of pieces being everywhere. And I did put a photograph on my Twitter account so you can see what I'm talking about from the asylum. Just beware, but you know, for me it's not too much of a drama. The asylum, I'm probably never going to go back to it. It did completely I did completely lose all the walls from the barber shop, but that was an easy fix, and so I haven't had too much of an impact with the update to the mod. I know it upset a few people, and they have written to the mod developer, and as he said, he said that he doesn't think there's anything he can do because of the way he has rejigged the mod. So that's okay. Snappy House Kits, I love it as a mod. I've been using it a lot. You've seen it a lot in a lot of my builds, so I'm going to continue to use it. And I think some of the new additions are really nice and really positive. And when I get time, I'll start adding them into a few of the builds. So that's all I had to say about that one. So this is quite an easy build. You know, it's just a case of snapping walls on. And I've used these particular shell kit walls in the past. They have that kind of worn out looking inside and the red brick on the outside, and I do like it a lot. Now I do have a bit of a problem with this last piece because that wall piece is just a little bit too far back and it won't allow it to snap. So I mean I could have went out and moved that wall piece, but yeah, just do it that way and it works for me. So I hope you're enjoying the build at Oberland. I'm really having a tremendous amount of fun. I always try to, when I start a new settlement like this, try to challenge myself a little. And what I'm doing here is I need to put a barn or a warehouse wall down first, and just hope that they're about the same height, which they are, so I can snap the roof on and then I'll replace that wall back. There we go, just like that. Take that out, put that in, just hope there's not a gap, which there isn't. So that's a wee workaround if you're using different materials. Now, I suddenly realise, oops, yeah, this is not long enough. So I need to take that out and those floor pieces out and move it all forward, just to get that roof to work. And this roof, let me tell you, does fight me in this build. So we'll do that, push these all forward, and then we're going to have to put half wall in that gap there, or take that, yeah, push that across like that, just to get it to marry up. And again, we've got the same problem with the wall. So yeah, the big challenge, given that I have been building for quite a considerable time now and sharing the builds on the old YouTubers thingy bobber, is the big challenge is to try and do something that's a little bit different. And so when I do fixing up the Commonwealth, what I try to do is challenge myself to do something I might have not done in the past. So hence why, and if you haven't seen the kind of the beginning video episode 1, and this is episode 8, so we're a fair way in, I explain kind of the thinking or the influence for this build, a la Rivet City in from Fallout 3, was a kind of influence, kind of starting point for me. So I kind of wanted to make an enclosed settlement, so that's where we're heading now. You'll notice up the top at the moment we have a couple of windows on top of the roof. Those don't stay there, hence why I'm not showing you too much at this point. I could have showed you me putting them in, but it doesn't matter because I get rid of them anyway. So this is also another way of being able to snap these roofs on. You just get one of those triangular pieces like that, snap them off, and you see that will now fit in there. Now it does leave a gap there, but we will address that gap fairly shortly. And I end up giving this a kind of Atom's Cut garage vibe roof thingy bobber. So as you know, my journey with roofs and I in Fallout 4 are not compatibly matched. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get on the roof. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to put some ladders up there to get up on the roof. Now, I am not going to show you the struggle I have getting this roof to work. I wouldn't do that to you, and certainly you wouldn't want to hear you wouldn't want to hear the audio on it, because it was very frustrating. But a lot of it had to do with me, I think, trying to get it absolutely spot on. The roofs that I use should snap in place, and of course, you know, if you watched the last episode of this build, you will know that the warehouse build right there in front of us to the left, that fought me. Well, the roofs on this one fought me too. So I'm going to use these roofs here when we find them. Not that one, the one with that one that has an open end and a closed end. Now, by right, these should just snap into place. But of course, 2D, and I think if I'd put walls in underneath these slanted pieces, I'd probably get that to snap. Anyway, long story short, I just persuade them into place, and it takes quite a bit of time and quite a bit of frustration. Yeah, anyway, so I'm figuring here, okay, I'll just put the first one in, and then the second one will snap onto the first one. Should be right, should be good. Make sure so there's a lot of ladder action in this one, sorry. So it's not straight, so we have to push it across, push it in, try and line it all up. A bit there might just about do. Yeah, I can live with that. And so the other one should just snap to that one, right? Nope. Wrong. And in actual fact, I think I have to make these slightly bigger, because you can see there's a gap there. No idea why. By this point, I'm kind of over it. Adjusting, trying to fill that gap in. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move forward in a second, and I'll show you once I get these done, because it takes up most of the recorded video to get this right. And it's funny, when you're building in Fallout 4, it's seems to be these kind of small or wee things that cause you the time, or cause you a lot of time. So the general idea, you get the general idea what this should look like. So let's skip ahead now, because I'm tired of it now, watching it back. So skipping ahead, we've got to address this gap here, and usually what I would do is I'd put a kind of half piece of the warehouse wall in there, although this one's a wee bit too small. So my first thought was to put these gap fillers in that we get with Workshop Rearranged, those ones. But those are a little bit too small. Now I could actually make them bigger and wider, and they probably would fit into that spot. However, I decided to make life difficult for myself, as I usually do, and I decided to go in quite a different direction. I'm just going, yeah, that's not going to work for me. What else? Have an idea, go, yeah, I know what I can put in there. I'll put a piece of glass in there, like that. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, look, great, it snaps. Oh, and it snaps there too. Now, on this side, fantastic. No dramas whatsoever, and I can already tell that roof is not straight. On this side, oh dear. So back to the roof again. So we'll skip forward because you honestly do not need to see this. And here we go. Voila! All fixed. And to give you some idea, in addition to the footage that you've actually already seen, there is about 7 minutes of faffing around with this roof to get it right. I still don't think it's perfect, but you know, I'll take the win. Now, with these particular shell kits in Snappy House Kits, it does also come with trims, and that's what I'm looking for at the moment, and not those type of trims. See, there's a gap on that corner that I've got to fill. That's right, but I need to go to, yeah, that's not going to work. No, go there. There's bound to be one here. There it is. See it. There. Now, these are a bit tricky because they don't, sometimes they snap right, sometimes they do not snap right at all. So you got it. Oh, there we go. So that looks seamless now. One on the other corner, and then it just plugs up that gap. Now you'll see the walls kind of overhang a little bit, and I do try and address a little bit of that. Usually when you are using this kind of shell kit for Snappy House Kits, your foundation wouldn't be that high, and there are actually concrete fillers that, and you'll see what I mean in a sec, that kind of plug that gap so that that wall doesn't look like it's floating. I kind of like it for this build, so I'm going to leave it as is, because I kind of, like I said, the overall look, and I'm actually going to build in front of this as well, and to the side and all over the place. So need to put some railing system in here. Actually go, that one looks better. I have got this weird little gap there, and yeah, I try and get something to fit in there. It's not going to work. It's just a really weird space that we have to fill. So I will fill that with something else later, but it's not going to stop me trying to do something here. Oh, I could do that. I could reduce the size of it. No, you couldn't. It's not going to work. Have a go though. Yeah, it could work. See, it's getting smaller. Nah. Anyway, I'm just going to put, I think I end up putting a bar or something in there just to fill in that gap. Okay, so at this point we're pretty much done, but then I actually stopped building and came back and thought, yeah, that's kind of boring. I need to add something more to that. So we're going to skip ahead now. And what I decide to do is put a room within the building. So build another room inside the actual workshop, garage, whatever you would like to call this particular. It's kind of Red Rocket meets Atom Cats, sort of. So I want to build a room in here. I'm just trying to figure out what the best kind of positioning. Tried a few different walls. Came back to snappy haskets because it kind of works. And then I kind of flick through these walls here. Now these are the ones that don't have the brick on one side. These are just the plain white ones that match the interior. Flicked along and found that one and thought, nah, that actually works, because I didn't really want to put a door on it, but that kind of works, and it kind of gives it two separate kind of rooms in here, and I sort of like the look of it. So put some of these in here. Concrete ceiling, if that snaps ever. If not, we're going to pursue. Oh, the little ones do though, so that's okay. And so you can see it just breaks it up a bit, and when you see it decorated, you'll see that it's it all kind of works. Now, last thing to do really is, before decoration, is to just change the floors slightly in that area we just created, and then we should be good. So as simple as this. Workshop Rearranged has these carpets or floor pieces that you can just drop in, and they seem to work, at least with the mods that I'm running, on the normal floors. So that's a warehouse floor. Boom, boom. And we are done, and we'll cut to the tour in 2 seconds. So here we go. Here's the finished tour. Up the stairs we go. And you can see a lot of this is decoration. I've added a little side area in here, just with some junk, you could call it, machine, etc. in. Some of this will be very, very familiar. Just added lots of little bits and pieces, lights and fans and all kind of stuff. And you can see this is quite a neat little workshop. I've used a whole lot of things from the Master Plan Red Rocket mod to dress this up, together with Dead Wasteland and a few other mods. See, his power armor T60 is in for repair, somebody's power armor, and the legs just hanging off there. Added lots and lots of depth to this, lots of posters and odds and ends, just to try and creative clutter we've used as well in this particular session of decoration. And then, you know, the mechanics, engineers, a little sleeping area as well. So there's a wall safe in there for all his goodies. Let's take a look up the side. I'll show you what we've added to the side of the building as well, just to make it a little bit more believable. Some decals that come with Dead Wastelands. Oh, that sun's pretty bad. I just added various signs and whatnot, just to make it look a little bit more believable. So pretty happy with the building. Pretty happy with that, how that turned out. We've also spent a bit of time making this area here into a greenhouse and adding a few more crops to the settlement. As you can see, still a little bit of work to be done, but making good progress. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we will catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya! With all the new content on Gaming for XP, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll let you know once we've uploaded anything that's new. See ya!